And welcome to SVGTV News for Monday, May 12, 2014. I'm Jennifer Richardson with the details. Victims of sex crimes will soon be able to seek justice through a sex crimes unit. So says Police Commissioner Michael Charles, while reporting on an increase in the number of rapes and other sexual offences here so far this year when compared to previous years. Commissioner Charles says the sex crimes unit will be established within the RSVG police force.
Soon and very soon, people are hearing me speak about this. The sexual offences unit will be launched. We just putting our final touches together, and we'll have this up and running, where persons who deal with these cases in a professional way will be in this team, and they will be moving out through civil and means to deal with, to assist persons who will deal with it in regards to sexual offences.
Meanwhile, Commissioner Charles says the lack of modern resources to assist in crime fighting continues to present a challenge for law enforcement authorities here. Commissioner Charles explained to SVGTV News that not having the facilities to test for ballistics and DNA are oftentimes problematic in solving some of these crimes. In the face of such shortcomings, the Commissioner says the RSVG police force will continue to develop its human capacity to remain effective in fighting crime.
We can only hope. It's our aim that we can reach there, really. What I can say is that, if you look behind, you see a projector set up there. What happened? What we decide to do is send some of our CSI, crime scene investigators, throughout the Caribbean. So, PC Duncan, he was sent to St. Lucia for a month to see how St. Lucia working on the scene of crime and so on. So he came back over the weekend, and he's going to give us a demonstration of what he learned, some of the things that he picked up, really. So this is not because we don't have resources. We can use our initiatives and so on, and because right around the Caribbean, there's a lot of expertise, and so we can capitalize on that.
Police have charged Rodney Roberts and Jason Henry of Lomans Leeward with the murder of Kyle Phillips of the same address. Phillips was gunned down last Tuesday night just outside his home in Spring, Lomans Leeward. He reportedly sustained gunshot wounds to his stomach and hand and died at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. Both accused men appeared before the Kingston Magistrate Court and were not allowed to plead to the indictable charge. They are now behind bars at Her Majesty's Prison. The matter has been transferred to the Serious Offences Court. They will return to that court on July 30th for a date when the preliminary inquiry will commence. Phillips' death brought the number of murders committed here for the year thus far to 14. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College Division of Technical and Vocational Studies is celebrating its first year of its refrigeration and air conditioning laboratory. The anniversary also comes on the heels of the second phase of training for technicians. Speaking at the ceremony earlier today, Director of the Environmental Management Department and the National Ozone Officer Janelle Miller-Findley said next year the National Ozone Unit will be certifying technicians who have successfully completed their training.
The Montreal Protocol is also time-bound. Our first milestones were the 2012 freeze in baseline consumption of 8 CFCs and the 2013 10% baseline reduction, which we have successfully achieved. As we work towards our 2015 20% reduction target, we are also confident that we'll be able to achieve this as well.
Trainer and facilitator of the program, Gary Peters, said contrary to what some persons think, the refrigeration and air conditioning program is not only about refrigeration, and that the concept can be found in almost all devices.
The modern way of living could not be possible without refrigeration. The medical industry would not be able to achieve all that, that advanced achievement that they have made without the preservation of medication, even body parts. Okay? The computer industry would not exist if we didn't have refrigeration and air conditioning in the manufacture of a lot of the components that's there.
And the Dean of the SVG Community College's Technical Division, Osborne Bowens, says he believes that although small states like St. Vincent and the Grenadines contribute insignificantly to the impact of climate change, we are the ones who receive the brunt of the impact.
One of the things that we have as small states is our pristine environment that we use for the benefit of ourselves, to allow visitors to the tourism industry, and to ensure continuity and help and keep our future generation sustained. Now, to me, the refrigeration air conditioning business, or that entity, helps significantly in ensuring that we keep the environment in a pristine condition.
Bowens added that his institution has benefited tremendously from the refrigeration and air conditioning laboratory.
I want to just assure you and assure the Ministry of Environment and Wellness that what they have contributed to the St. Vincent Grenadines Community College, and what they have contributed to the students, and what they have contributed to St. Vincent and Grenadines by extension, is something that would benefit in the long term, as our students are more capable, more competent as they leave the division and leave the college. Our students are able to perform at a much better and a higher level, having gone through this program.
The first ever music awards, held here on Friday evening, has been given the thumbs up by several of the awardees and patrons who attended the event at the Peace Memorial Hall. The event, hosted by the Association of Music Professionals, AMP, was broadcast live on SVG-TV. Kristen John Dean tells us more on who took home awards in this report.
The Red Carpet event saw awards handed out in 20 categories. Chanel Scorpion Williams took the Best Calypso and Ragga Soca awards with his songs Until and Hammer and Congs. The Best Reggae Song award went to Aishan with Refugee Camp. Gamal Skinny Fabulous Doyle got the awards for Best Soca Song with The General and the Entertainer of the Year. First Lady received the award for Best Dancehall Song with Leftovers. Hip Hop and R&B Song of the Year went to Beautiful Nightmares by Prez. Christmas Song of the Year went to Luther with Girl In. Sarah Mack took the Universal Song Award I Am Not a Robot. She also captured the Best New Female Artist, while the Best Male Artist went to Keith Currency. Kioka Cruikshank Jack took the Gospel Artist of the Year award. Best Live Band went to Kinetics. Concrete Jungle, directed by Ackley Alton, got the Best Music Video of the Year award. DJ of the Year was awarded to DJ Captain John, and Radio Station of the Year went to the National Broadcasting Corporation NBC Radio. Alex Banwell was awarded Producer of the Year, and Musician of the Year went to Rodney Small. Oil Stain Rhythm received the Rhythm Track of the Year award. Meanwhile, President of AMP, Randy Bomani Charles, copped the ECCO Songwriter of the Year. Here's an excerpt from the performances at last Friday night's award ceremony.
Them not bad like Vikings, no easy was. I behave ready. I behave ready. I behave ready. Now everybody jump up and show me ya. Come and pull on the 9-inch hammer. Where's the guns for the gunter? Start to apply the pressure. She want me go hot, so me knock it with the hammer. The hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer. But the guns to break. But the guns to break.
The SVG AMP Awards is expected to be an annual event recognizing the work of persons in the local musical arena. Kristen John Dean reporting for SVGTV News.
Meantime, some of the awardees at Friday's event expressed much gratitude to the organizers of the event. Some took the opportunity to also thank persons who have supported them over the years.
Can you big yourself up? Prez, my team, everybody that works with me on a constant, on a daily basis as friends and as musicians. Big up my father who passed away 4 years ago. He is actually, honest to God truth, the beginning of all of this. He's the one who actually got me interested in music in the first place. Big up the church. I've always been a student of Christianity, and I've always been a student of God. Without God, nothing is possible.
First, I want to say thanks to the Almighty for giving me this gift. when I was about the age of 6, I realized that I have a talent to just compose songs like that. I used to compose them in my head, then I got a recorder and started to save them and realized they were good, you know. So, and also I want to thank Mr. Venner for seeing me in the Junior Calypso competition and took me to the National Youth Band and nurtured my talent.
I have a lot of gratitude, and I say thanks again to the organizers of this event for this award ceremony. I didn't say it before, but special thanks to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for also acknowledging myself, the likes of a fireman Hooper, the Vibrating Cakes, and the very significant sports personnel that we have right here in St. Vincent. They awarded us with some diplomatic passports.
We now take a look at Carnival Beat. Just a few weeks remaining before the 59th staging of the Miss SVG pageant, the 8 contestants in this year's competition are busy preparing for the big event. Last Saturday, SVG-TV's Jamisha Wright spoke with the contestants during their scheduled Meet the Media session at the Young Island Resort. Here's more.
You're just a couple of weeks away from the Miss SVG pageant. Tell us, where you are in terms of your preparations.
I am. There are things that I am currently working on. I would say that I am confident, and I know that I can do this. So I'll just put my best foot forward.
In terms of, let's say, would you say you're 50, 75, 80% completed, prepared for this show? How far are you?
I would say that I am 90%.
90% completed. You've been working alongside the other 7 contestants over the past few months, I guess. What you think sets you apart? What you think gave you a competitive advantage over the other young ladies?
What sets me apart is that I am focused, I am determined. Once I want something, I go for it, and I make sure that I get that.
Why have you decided to enter the Miss SVG pageant 2014 in particular?
I have been a pageant lover ever since I was a little girl, and I have entered 5 previous pageants, so I decided that I would take the big step and enter the Miss SVG pageant 2014.
You've just stated you've entered 5 previous pageants. How you think those shows have prepared you for the Miss SVG pageant?
I have placed in my previous pageants, whether it's second runner-up or fourth runner-up, and I was crowned queen in Miss Pitani 2011. So I actually thought that was practice for me for the Miss SVG pageant. It has helped to boost my self-confidence and my self-esteem.
Before we get into your preparations, tell us what motivated you to enter the Miss SVG pageant.
As a child growing up, about 6 years old, I've observed the ladies who were entering into the Miss SVG pageant. I love anything that is beautiful. Therefore, I said that when I grow up, when I'm finished with girls' high school and finish college, I will enter into the Miss SVG pageant.
So you were saying that this is actually a lifelong dream of yours?
Yes, I have made my plans as a child growing up. Real plans.
So is the Miss SVG pageant your first pageant?
Yes, please.
And how prepared would you say you are?
Extremely, about 100%.
Your name has surfaced with a number of pageants in the past. Tell us why you decided to enter the Miss SVG pageant, and if these shows in the past have prepared you for the Miss SVG pageant.
I've always been very intrigued by pageants, and that is why I chose to enter all those pageants, and of course now the ultimate Miss SVG pageants.
How many pageants have you entered in the past?
This will be my 7th pageant.
All right. And how would you say those shows have prepared you for the Miss SVG pageant?
Well, I'm very familiar with the stage, and I know that consistency is very important. I know that firsthand, so I will be given a very consistent performance on the night of May 31st.
Yes, I have been anticipating to enter the Miss SVG pageant for previous years, but this year I found the courage within me, and I am ready to advance myself in my educational level.
All right. So tell us, what can St. Vincent expect from you if you are crowned Miss SVG 2014? What can we expect from you after Miss SVG during your reign?
A lot of community service, and I would like to work along, especially with young females who are finding it difficult to have that voice for themselves, who are being very vulnerable at a very early stage of their life. I would like to have them find their voice and to know how very unique and important they are.
Right. Felicia, what motivated you to enter the Miss SVG pageant 2014?
Well, I wanted to be a role model for the young people in my community, which is Sandy Bay. And I also want to be an ambassador for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I felt that the Miss SVG pageant is the perfect platform for that, because you not only get to display that at a local level, but also at a regional and international level as well.
I have entered pageants before, but this would have to be my major pageant show. I have always wanted to enter the Miss SVG show. It's a prestigious show here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On the night of May 31st at Victoria Park, Carnival City, I can promise you the best experience of your life. What I have to offer is genuine. It's coming straight from my heart. I'm a very creative person, and finally, the Vincentian people and nationals visitors would have the opportunity to see that.
Years of encouragement from my friends have made me enter Miss SVG 2014. And also there is so much to be gained from entering a pageant of this caliber in terms of self-development and overall holistic development. On May 31st, this is my opportunity to invite you to Victoria Park on that night, where you will see me, Miss Line, for the first time in all her glory, giving you that wow factor that you have been waiting for all these years. Be there.
We will bring you more of the interviews with the contestants in our next newscast. Meanwhile, SVGTV News also caught up with Miss SVG 2013, Shara George, who will be handing over the title to the new Miss SVG on Saturday, May 31st, 2014.
Your reign is almost to an end, unfortunately or fortunately.
It's a mix of both, you know. There's always a certain amount of sadness, because of course I'm no longer going to be able to say I Miss SVG, present Miss SVG. But of course you must pass it on, and I'm happy to pass it on to any one of these lovely, talented, beautiful, intelligent young ladies.
That's really was going to be my second question, Shara. What is your impression of this crop of girls?
I think they're an outstanding crop of girls. I believe that any one of them will be a very excellent Miss SVG 2014. I think they all have the qualities, the intelligence, the talent, the entire package.
All right. How would you sum up? Give me a brief synopsis of your reign. You know what the experience was like. The last time we spoke was like, Shara, if you're crowned Miss SVG, yes, what would that be like? But no, you have been crowned Miss SVG. Tell us what that experience was like for you.
Aside from the pageants that I took part in, the Miss Caraval and the Miss JCs, which are the regional pageants, my reign has been fairly quiet. I have done one or two things for the Rotary Club, which I was very happy to do. But outside of that, I think that Carnival season is the time when they have the activities for the queens. As you can see, this is now when we have our road trips, our other appearances. So it's been relatively quiet.
George also used the opportunity to give some encouraging words to the contestants in this year's pageant and other prospective contestants.
Firstly, to the contestants, each of you has something unique to bring to the stage in Victoria Park, because you're all individuals, you have your own personality. Play to that, that is your strength. Be confident in what you set out to do. You've practiced for this long enough, and just bring your best foot forward on the night of the show and have fun. To the young ladies out there who are looking to enter Miss SVG, I say go for it. It's a refining process. It makes you more aware, it makes you more confident, and even if you do not win the crown, you will still come out of this learning so many life lessons that you can carry with you throughout the rest of your life.
And the chairperson of the Beauty Shows Committee, Shirley Rodriguez, says things are shaping up well for the night of May 31st.
Pretty girls, they're beautiful inside and outside, you know, wonderful human beings to work with, because if that was not the case, I would not be wrong, you know. So I like to work with young people, I like to work with young women. This is our way of assisting young women. Miss SVG is also about not just beauty and going on the stage in a swimwear and stuff. It's more about the development and empowerment of young women through pageantry. We have a really exciting package for you. please be at Victoria Park. It is not the same being at home watching TV and watching the show on TV. I know it will come on TV, I know it will come on TV later on, but the whole idea is to be at the park to support your favorite girl. Each girl needs our support, all 8 of them. They've worked really, really hard, they will tell you. Didn't they tell you that earlier on, that it's hard work? Yes, hard work, right?
That's it for Carnival Beat this evening.
See your eyes, when them up like you just don't care. When them up to the sky, let them fly.
In other news on the local scene, a further consultation on the Caribbean single market and economy was held here earlier today at the Foreign Affairs Conference Room. Speaking at the opening ceremony, representative of the CARICOM Secretariat, Wania Ellis, outlined that the consultation is in keeping with the organization's ongoing efforts to make the single market arrangements more accessible and business-friendly.
It provides targeted support to member states in the area of legislative and administrative reform, institutional strengthening, and improvement of channels of information. Today's consultation is critical as it is part of a consultancy which has as its focus to prepare drafts to ensure legislative security to CARICOM nationals, and this in accordance with the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas and community decisions.
Ambassador Ellsworth John says the participants at the consultation will be working towards filling the loopholes that may present themselves under the CSMA.
We are very hopeful that at the end of this process, based on the draft that is before us, we would have made some valuable inputs regarding what needs to be done in St. Vincent and the Grenadines legislatively, and analysis have already been done as to where we are. And this legislation is designed to fill the gaps that we need to put in place legislatively to ensure that we are on top of the single market economy.